Okay, we are live. Welcome to the stream and the watch along for today. It is the Raptors and the Nets. It is the final in-season tournament group game of the year. Um, Pretty exciting stuff. This is the implications for today. Let me outline it to you all. As you can see, the starters are, well, the starters that we've been accustomed to seeing in recent memory. Nic Claxton is back, and Cam Johnson is still playing, but apparently on a minutes restriction because of all that cramping that's occurring. So yeah, that's the situation for those two. Dennis Smith is still out. Cam Thomas was upgraded to doubtful, so that's a good thing because that would indicate that he's very, very close to returning. And then Ben Simmons obviously is out for a while. Dennis Smith is still out with that ankle issue. Those who have just tuned in, welcome to the stream. Hope you're all doing well. We missed a very interesting game of basketball the other day. I was very happy with my choices in the first quarter because we looked god awful. In the second quarter, we scored 11 three-pointers, which is the franchise record. And then, 16 in the first half, and then 25 overall made threes. So that was a big part of our win on 2 days ago. So that would be Monday or Sunday, wherever you are. But today is a good chance to get back on top of that. Well, we're 8-8, so if we win, we go above 500. We lose, we go underneath again. That voice crack was disgusting. But it's going to be a good one. These are the implications for the in-season tournament today. The Nets are currently sitting in third in their group, tied with Boston on 2 wins and a loss. We do have the benefit of the differential. That is at +8. The Celtics are on 0. So dead even. And then on top of the group at the moment, as it stands, no more games to play though, is Orlando. They have a point differential of +22. So the fact that we beat Orlando by, a very healthy margin has meant that we still have a chance to clinch the group and obviously lock ourselves into a place in the knockout stages, I guess, if you will. We have to win today, though, by 14 or more, I think. Because we beat Orlando, we go above them. So we have to beat them by at least 14. And at the same time, the Celtics have to not win by 22 or more. And they play Chicago today. So who knows how that one's going to pan out. But obviously we've got to control what we can control first, and then the other results hopefully fall into place. But yeah, this is going to be a good game. I hate to say it, Royce's last game. Well, I spoke this guy's good performance into existence because I gave him a full-on rev up post game. I said, "You're not him," and then comes out in the second quarter of that huge game against the Bulls and scores a bunch of threes. I think he had 17 at one point, leading the way for the Nets, which is pretty crazy stuff given this guy absolutely stinks of shit every single time I watch him play. So that's a really good thing that he's actually performing. I don't want the guy to not perform. I mean, it's really that simple. I want everyone to succeed, but unfortunately for Royce, it really hasn't gone his way. Granted, I did foreshadow this before the season began, so yeah. Some other key things to point out is that the Nets, Lonnie Walker has been superb this season. Absolutely superb. And he's currently averaging, if I can actually get the stats up for this team. Stats. Lonnie is third for scoring in the team. He's played 15 games, so not so much of a small sample size compared to most. Every game off the bench, but he has scored 16 a game, and the shooting splits are very good. He's shooting just a tick under 50% from the field, and he's shooting 47% from three on nearly 6 attempts per game. So that is, well, that's an incredibly good sign. Incredibly good sign. Yeah. Royce back into the lineup. Yep. Give Royce time, he will come back down to earth. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy's the most bipolar NBA player in the entire league. Like, he is... Okay, well, we have not started on a 9-0 burst. The game hasn't even begun yet. Yeah, like, he's one of those bipolar NBA players. As I've said, he has the ability to get a steal and then just throw it out of bounds by sheer incompetence. Maybe you should stop your stream now so Royce can have another good game. Well, yeah, I think it's actually going to be a miracle if if we see Royce perform on stream, because every single time it just doesn't pan out that way. It's always just like half the stream is just me getting upset. And you know what? I mean, this is what I've signed up for as a Nets supporter. Like, it's like these. Like, this, like, we are 8-8 right now. It could not be any more of an indicator of the season. We've had some really good performances, and then in there you just mix it in with all the bad and, yeah, all the rubbish and the debris that we've created on numerous occasions. There haven't been too many, like, games we've been completely out of, but, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be... I don't know what this performance is going to provide. I mean, obviously, we have the added pressure of that point differential. The Raptors, as far as I'm concerned, they are ruled out. So they've got absolutely nothing to play for when it comes to the in-season tournament. But they do have, well, a lot to play for when you consider that, well, this counts towards your regular season record. They're 8-9, so they're very mid. They're equal to us in a lot of ways. You know, they've got some good pieces, but nothing that's going to give your team a sniff. Siakam's had a really interesting year. I should just go back here just for a second and just show you the lineups. That's our lineup. Claxton is back, and then the opponents, you can barely see it, because for some reason this is the format the Raptors have decided to go with. Hopefully that decision indicates how bad they're going to play today, but if you can read and you've got 20/20 vision, you'll be able to see Schroeder, Barnes, Anunoby, Siakam, and Podol are the starting five. So that is them sorted. Watford has been impressive. He's one of my favourite players, by far. Yeah, I really enjoy watching the guy play. He's just got a bit of a unique skill set, and I think the uniqueness of how he plays and the role he plays on the team is very well. I think that's why I have a little bit more. That's why I have a little bit more. What's the word? Love for his game, I guess. I think you should create a second channel for Everton. I mean, it probably was smart in the beginning to, you know, divide all three sports that I do into different channels, but, you know, it would look like I'm not doing anything on one of the channels for like a week, because I wouldn't be. Like, I find if I put them all together, I can do everything and the content gets rolled out a little bit more consistently, even though the audiences aren't distributed differently. If that makes sense. But I understand what you mean by that. Because, yeah, usually that would be a smart decision, but I just completely diverted from being smart. So, yeah. Alrighty. So the game is probably ready to go. Alrighty. Noah Clowney's also out. That is just a really random injury report. Okay, we're about to get underway in this game between the Raptors and the Nets. two teams that are very lengthy. Barnes at the 2. Okay. Here we go. CJ is apparently playing less minutes, and he's going to be playing in shorter stints to sort of combat that cramping that he's been dealing with the last 2 or 3 games since Atlanta. The game is underway, and obviously we're playing on that home in-season tournament court, which looks much better than most. That's a great set play, and Anunoby blew the layup. That was basically wide open. Dinwiddie's wearing some bright pink kicks, so he'll be easily noticeable. Johnson gets by the closeout, gets to his spot in the mid-range, and that is probably not the best shot you want opening the game up. So Barnes to... no, that's Siakam. How do I mix those two up? Siakam lost the ball. Well done by Mikal, who knocks it away. They got 7 to shoot. They had to fetch it in the backcourt. Schroeder uses the screen. Siakam in the corner. Finney-Smith was able to secure the ball, knock it out of Siakam's hands for a second consecutive time in that possession. And that is the first turnover of the game. Dinwiddie out to Bridges. Swing. 3. That's an air ball. My goodness. So let's hope that isn't a sign of what's to come in this first quarter, because we can't really afford it. Anunoby in the paint. The hook shot is an air ball, or he's hit the backboard. Didn't hit the rim, so neither team looking too appealing on offense. Johnson, excellent dump pass to Claxton, and he scores with the two-handed finish. So first score of the game off the facilitation of Johnson and the excellent craft around the rim by Claxton. Schroeder on the outside will drive, and with the runner, he is off, and Claxton gets the rebound. He's going to bring it up himself, and he's going to hand it off to Johnson, and now Dinwiddie in rhythm. The 3 on the wing, it is well off, and, well, fair to say from the outside, we haven't started nearly the same way we were playing in the previous match. Another short pull-up by Siakam. They have missed their first 4 shots, the Raptors. And now Dinwiddie will pass it to Claxton. Strong take with the left. He is fouled by Podol, and it will be 2 free throws coming up. So Claxton with some good bits of offense to open this match. It's exactly what we need, especially when we're forcing misses early. We've got to capitalize on a weak Raptors start and get a good start of our own. So 2-0 Nets, and Claxton at the free throw line. He bricks the first free throw, unsurprisingly, of course. Let me get the chat up. So first free throw is off, and the second free throw being lined up now is also off. So he comes up empty. And a rebound for the Raptors. It'll be Schroeder again, handing it off to Siakam. Barnes, bit of passing play here by the Raps. Sort of getting in each other's way a little bit. Schroeder shoots the mid-range, and he gets the jumper to go. So the Raptors on the board. It took a bit of time to get into the swing of things, but Schroeder's had a pretty good year. Pretty good year so far. Had some decent games in there. Bridges in the mid-range, you just knew that was off as soon as he shot it. The Raptors will look to push the pace. They swing it to the corner for Anunoby, and now Siakam. What is Mikal doing? I don't know what he was doing there. He overcommitted when he wasn't even remotely close to getting a steal. Dinwiddie in an ISO on Anunoby. Now Bridges will come to collect. Drive. Pass to Claxton, and he was short on the push shot. So both teams struggling early. Barnes will drive on Claxton, the spin and the kick out to the corner for Siakam. He was open. They got the rebound, and now Schroeder on the perimeter will drive. Claxton will be hit with the foul, and it's going to be 2 free throws for Schroeder. So both teams doing it tough at the moment. Claxton got hit in the face, it looks like, but he'll be okay. So Schroeder at the free throw line. Lax is a little bit shaken up. He must have gotten swatted in the head. So just a bit of incidental contact there. Schroeder at the free throw line. He's good on the first. The Raptors have their first lead of the game. Let's have a look. I don't really know what happened there. It didn't look like he'd gotten hit in the face. So, second free throw for Schroeder. And that's good. So, 4-2. Dinwiddie picked up full court by Schroeder. I don't know which pronunciation is correct. Dinwiddie. High screen, Clax. Dinwiddie looking for the pass. Claxton rolls. And he scores off the window. So Claxton with 4. 4 minutes into the game. 4 apiece. Barnes will hand it back out to Schroeder. The switch. Barnes. Claxton with the swat and the rebound by Dinwiddie. They swing it to the corner. Finney-Smith, ball fake. Set the feet and was short on the 3. So there was an opportunity to drive, but Doe wanted the step back. Barnes forced into a pass because Claxton was under the basket. And now Schroeder on the perimeter picked up by Finney-Smith. Good maneuver. Step back 2. And it is off. Claxton with another board. Dinwiddie will drive. Gets into the paint. The shot is no good. And the rebound by the Raptors. So we go the other way again. Siakam the Euro and the kick out. Barnes is open for 3. He's allowed to shoot it and he knocks it down. So 7-4. And, well, we're 2 of 9 and the Raptors are 1 of 9. That's a good cut by Bridges. And he was able to score despite being met with contact at the rim by Anunoby. So that's the kind of work that's going to need to be done off the ball because nothing's really been happening, with the more predictable stuff. Schroeder to Anunoby, who's forced into a kick out. It's Siakam. That's off for 3. And Claxton with another board. So he's really racking up the rebounds early in this contest with all the misses. Dinwiddie shoots again, and that one is also off. So we're nearly halfway into the first quarter. And the Nets only have 6 points. The Raptors with 7. We're going to get our first time out of the game. And boy, oh boy, this has not been a pretty watch. This has not been a pretty watch. We're going to look at the box score. And then I will check the chat. We've got Spencer Dinwiddie as the man who I've put into the spotlight today. And he hasn't really relished the opportunity thus far. So at this stage, you can see the Raptors are shooting it abysmally, yet still lead because the Nets have actually, we're shooting it just as badly. There's not really any turnovers in this game. A lot of rebounds up for grabs. The Raptors have 10, we've got 8. But yeah, Dinwiddie hasn't really had a great start to the game. Only the 2 rebounds, the 1 assist, and not much else to note. Claxton has a nice 4 points, 4 boards, and a block. But really, there's nothing else to, run home with. You can see for the Raptors, they're shooting it just as bad, if not worse. They've just hit a 3-pointer, so that's given them the little buffer over the top of us we need, or they need. But yeah, that's the situation at this stage, and it hasn't been pretty, of course. I thought Clax was out. No, he is well and truly fit and firing and ready to go. Let's have a look. Who's in the spotlight today? Yep, you've seen it now. What is the other team besides Everton and Brooklyn? Carlton. It's an Australian Aussie rules team, which is probably the team I support the most, actually. It gave me a heart attack. I swear I felt like I was losing my mind. Please, let's have a better first quarter. Let's not give up 7 threes against the Bulls. Yeah, 32-9. That start was hideous. And we've arguably started just as bad from the field. The silver lining here is that the Raptors have missed a lot of shots. Claxton looking like a dog. He is. Bring Royce on, we look shit. I don't think anyone has ever said that. Alrighty. Now, quick reminder, today is a in-season tournament game, and if we win by at least 14, we will go above Orlando, who currently sit first. We also have to bank on the fact that if the Celtics do win, they cannot win by more than 22 points. That's if we win by 14. We've basically got to ensure that we don't get outscored by 8 points in wins. Another miss by Siakam means that we can retake the lead. Lonnie Walker is into the game. Bridges drives down the middle. The layup is good, falling to the floor, and that's the kind of work we need to see by Mikal Bridges. It's not really going to come from the shot creation with the ball. It's gonna be without it. It's a nice little mid-range by Siakam to retake the lead for the Raptors. So I'd like to see a little bit more offense from both teams, just so I'm actually enjoying watching this game of basketball. Dinwiddie, what are you doing? How has he hit that three? Hand in the face. Always makes the more difficult shots. Makes them look easy. Schroeder. Push shot by Podol is good. And the game is tied at 11. Day'Ron Sharpe is into the game. Claxton sits, and Cam Johnson expectedly is also on the bench. Day'Ron, good take. Oh, that's a tough shot. He's missed it, but Dorian Finney-Smith is there. He got about 4 rebounds, and then he got the ball knocked out of his hands. So it's going to be a recycled possession for the Nets. Good persistence by Finney-Smith. He had the position. Probably should have scored the layup, but I'd rather have another good look rather than something that's a little bit more rushed. Day'Ron will hand it off to Bridges in the mid-range. He'll shoot over the top of Podol, and he scores. I mean, Day'Ron was there for the putback, with Podol having committed to contesting that mid-range, and that's 10 points in the paint for the Nets. The only 3 points that haven't come from that area is the 3-pointer Dinwiddie scored a couple possessions ago. The Raptors, Schroeder to the corner for Siakam. He goes baseline, and that has to be a goaltend. And it will be 2 points for Siakam. So Day'Ron is going to get hit with that. Well, he's the guilty party there. That was clearly a goaltend. So play resumes at 13 apiece. The 5 on the floor for the Nets are Dinwiddie, Bridges, Day'Ron, Walker, and Finney-Smith. Bridges will go again and uses the body to create that little bit of extra separation, and he scores for 2 more. So we're finding a fair bit of success in driving it to the cup early on in this one. Trent is in the game for the Raptors. He goes on the drive, and he scores whilst leaning. And it's basically score for score at the moment. Walker back out to Bridges. He lost the ball. And there is a foul on Trent, I believe. Was it Day'Ron who hit it? Yeah, so Day'Ron got pinged with the foul, and Bridges was the guy who conceded the turnover. And the problem with that is that's going to be a clear path, surely. Surely a clear path. I don't think it is, though. Which is sort of baffling if you think about it. Because they were well and truly off to the races. Yeah, it's not even going to count as a score. Or, sorry, a clear path foul. Or a take foul. Like, I'm very surprised that wasn't called. Day'Ron knocks it away. Somehow the Raptors end up with it. And Siakam scores with the finger roll. I mean, on a couple of occasions there, we had that. We nearly were able to redeem ourselves for the previous possession, but unfortunately end up conceding a 2 instead. It's good defense by the Raptors. They are face guarding, and we really don't have any room to get the shots off. Dinwiddie out to Walker, who shoots, and he misses. That's a good contest by Siakam. And now Trent will potentially hand it off to Siakam, who's got Dinwiddie on him in the post. Anunoby's going to go down the middle. He lost the ball, somehow saved it. Siakam will drive again. And the 2 is good. So 2 consecutive possessions where we've nearly had the steal, but unfortunately, we've only executed it 75% of the way, and the Raptors have been the beneficiary. Bridges the cross, he gets into the paint, and it was a foul on the floor. Achua is in for the Raps, and we have another timeout with the Nets trailing by 4. Let's have a look at the chat first, and then proceed. I'm not expecting to get much from Spencer or Royce, just hoping Walker, Watford, and Dayron play very well. Hope Giles gets a run. I do think that I think Watford would be a really handy player today because the Raptors have a lot of length. Since that really abysmal start, they've made 6 of their last 8 shots. And even though we have nearly gotten a turnover, we've tipped the pass a few times. Only 1 turnover. I mean, those tipped passes are not going to go down as turnovers, so we've got to do a better job of securing those. Siakam's been a little bit more aggressive, driving the ball to the restricted area, and he's found, a fair bit of benefit from that. He's got 8 points. He's leading the way for the Raps, and all of his buckets have come from inside the arc. So I think that's potentially the trend that we're going to see today, because both teams finding success inside the arc. The Nets are shooting very similarly to the Raptors. I mean, they've taken 2 less they've had the same amount of free throws, but made 2 less. And they've made 1 less field goal on the same amount of attempts. So it's a very similar, read on the box score. Mikal Bridges has had a very good game to start things off. He's leading the way with 8. Cam Johnson is on a minutes restriction. So how many minutes we see from him today is going to be, it remains to be seen. But, I mean, Cam Johnson usually is a very positive impact on this team. I'm just a little bit surprised why they've taken Clax off this early. I mean, we've seen this rotation, recently since Clax returned. Dayron will come in earlier in the first quarter, so then Claxton can start the second. So, I mean, it's worked in some situations. I mean, for a game like today, Claxton's had a much better start, but alrighty. So, as it currently stands, we have no business being in the top hold on, I'm just seeing the Group C standings. While the Gary Trent has already been in the league for 6 years, I swear, even Ben Simmons, it feels like yesterday he was getting hyped up as a rookie, and he's been in the league for, he's 26, 27 now. That's... I can't wrap my head around that, to be quite honest. We return from the timeout. Malachi Flynn is in for the Raptors. Another good fake... Oh, that's quality by Dayron Sharp. The score +1. And Achua was trying to block us the trailer, but that is excellent off-ball play again by Bridges. He faked the movement, looked like he was going to go one way, went the other, and then obviously was able to draw the defender. And Dayron was there, well and truly for the cut. He caught Achua napping, and the free throw is also good by Dayron. So that's a very clean offensive possession out the break. And I think the more we see that, the better. Achua is on 2 personals. Siakam looking for the pass. Barnes caught it. Flynn for 3. It is off, and a long rebound by Barnes. It's good defense by Sharp. He forces the kick out. Achua misses. and O'Neal with the rebound. So the first of O'Neal we see today. Dayron the rim run and another 2 points, and the Raptors have to call another timeout because that is 2 consecutive possessions where Dayron has run the rims, and he's caught the Raptors defense napping. I mean, they haven't really caught up with him. They haven't looked like keeping up with him. And, I mean, I just talked about 2 minutes ago about the Dayron Claxton minute staggering being a little bit weird, but I mean, right there, you're seeing the benefits of Dayron Sharp. So he's been good. He's been good so far. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for Nets Hornets in a couple of days' time. And then it'll be Nets Magic before we go into this little period where there'll be all the in-season tournament stuff going on that won't actually count in terms of actual regular season records. So yeah, that's the situation at the moment. If we do go back to the box score, I mean, you're seeing Dayron with 5 off the bench, and he hasn't really had to do too much. O'Neal's been on for 1 minute and is a +5 already, so it's been a really decent game. I think defensively we've been more active than the stats would suggest. That it only says 1 turnover, but we've been a part of a lot of deflections, and that hasn't made things easy for the Raptors. They're taking a lot of shots and just aren't making them. In seasons gone by, I think that would have been a little bit of a different narrative. Here is Malachi Flynn to the corner for Barnes, and he nearly airballed it, but they get another offensive rebound. And a lot of it is, I think, a bit down to fortune. Trent is harassed, and the turnaround in the mid-range is good. So Raptors retake the lead again. We've had a lot of lead changes in this first quarter, so I think that says a lot about where these two teams are at and the similarities. Walker on the catch. The 3 is off. He's missed his first 2 threes, and Trent will push the pace. He swings it to the corner for Achua. He got rid of... Oh, my goodness. Bridges got absolutely removed from that situation. He's going to get hit with the blocking foul. And, yeah, that's just... He was trying to plant the feet, but I think he just got to a point where he just conceded defeat. So Raptors at the free throw line, and Dayron, I believe, is heading to the bench. Achua at the free throw line on 2 personals. He is off on the first free throw. And returning is Claxton. So 21-20 late game in the first quarter. The second free throw is also off, so Claxton missed 2 early in the game, and then you've got Achua doing much the same. So things even out eventually. Dinwiddie on the drive. The layup is good. He got the bounce, and that is Dinwiddie's second basket of the game. Had a double-double the other night. Siakam picked up by O'Neal. Screen set, and the mid-range is off, and good help rebounding by Mikal Bridges, who will swing it across to O'Neal now. And now Walker, picked up by Flynn. O'Neal on the wing. That is a deep 3. Bridges bats it back out. Walker with the pump fake. The mid-range, that's off. And Claxton had to have been held on that because he looked a bit restricted. Regardless, it's a miss, and the Raptors can take the lead. 8-second difference between shot and game. It's Trent over the top of Claxton. It's off. They get another long rebound. Siakam will slow things down because now the shot clock difference is 1. Siakam goes at O'Neal. O'Neal stays with him. It's good defense. He shoots over the top, and he misses. Dinwiddie, I don't know how he did not get the benefit of a whistle. Oh, nearly one of those half-court specials by Spencer Dinwiddie, but that is quarter time. It's 22-21. Defense has been a pretty big trait of our game in this first quarter. Spencer's had a pretty decent start with 5, 3, and 2. But this is the box score for both teams. You can see the Nets are shooting 1 of 7, so nowhere near the mark that was set the other day. I mean, they started the game slowly in the first last time out, but even still, I'd rather they take 7 threes to 14 that they did in the first quarter the other day, because they're just not making them at the moment. Only 4 players have scored for us. We're shooting at 40% from the field. I think the concerning thing is, well, turnovers are good, really good. Only 1. The rebound's sort of there. We're getting out rebounded by 1, but I think the concerning thing is we've conceded 5 offensive rebounds. At the moment, have not been punished on the, the second chance opportunities that those rebounds can provide. But that being said, got to cut that down. The Raptors are shooting it poorly, but we're letting them off with our own struggles offensively. We're shooting the ball very, very similarly to them. So I think I like the aggressiveness that we're taking in getting it to the rack. But that being said, like only 3 free throws, and all of those have come from our bigs. We need to see a bit more from Mikal and Spencer and those sort of guys. Spencer had 1 strong take to the basket, and Mikal's been very good with 8, very efficient, played the entire first quarter with Spencer. So they've done a good job, but now it's going to be heavily reliant on the second unit to get things done. Trendon Watford did not see any first quarter action. I want to see some minutes from him in the second. 8 assists from 10 made field goals. I think that would indicate that there's been some good passing. And as you can see, as the box score updates, Trendon Watford is basically about to check into the game. So that's a good first quarter by the Nets, all things considered. I mean, we didn't shoot the ball too well, but now is the time we create that separation we need, especially with the in-season tournament game being considered. I think a lot of the shots that we took, I think that was a byproduct of the Raptors' defense more than anything. I think we did a good job of picking the right sort of shots, but those 3-pointers have been well contested, so probably need to be a little bit smarter, try find the open man a little bit more, attract a couple of defenders. Here's Watford, out to O'Neal, to the corner for Johnson. He's got Barnes on him. This Raptors team are very lengthy as well, so their contests are going to be a lot more effective. Johnson off the window, makes for 2, so 24-21. Nets with the first basket of the second quarter. Barnes to the corner for Anunoby, who was yet to score, I do believe. Achua will give it back to Anunoby. And now the cut by, I don't know who that is, McDaniels. Watford nearly had the steal, but unfortunately, he bounced the ball out of bounds on the sideline. So it's going to be Raptors ball on the baseline. And it'll be Flynn triggering in. Anunoby shoots immediately, and that is off. Watford bats it to himself, and he will push the pace. I liked what he did the other day, pushing the pace. Walker will give it to Watford, who thought about the 3, but it absolutely wasn't on. And now Claxton will give it to Johnson on the wraparound. And we need a shot. 6 to shoot. Walker drives. Good verticality, and he adjusted on the fly, contorted his body, and was able to score for 2 more. He got the bounce. It's a 5-point lead for the Nets. McDaniels is into the game. That's the guy who looked unfamiliar before. Barnes will shoot the 3. The separation was created as the Nets went under the screen, and Barnes converts, and Walker lost the ball, and he is down. It's his knee again, and that's been causing a few issues. Barnes just lost the ball. I don't know who knocked it away. O'Neal was fouled, and Lonnie Walker is sore this time. It looks like he's hamstring a little bit. But it's his hamstring, but it's not like... That's a really weird one, because he didn't, like, extend or anything. I don't know if he's, like, pulled something. It looks okay, but... looks a bit heavy. It looks a bit more like a glute issue now. Because it's more the inside. No, he's okay. He's running. So, let's see if he can run it off. but I can't imagine he's going to run as quickly as he did on the previous play. Here he is getting involved, though. Johnson will shoot the pull-up too. That was wide open. He shook off McDaniels about 5 seconds before he took it, and there was no recovery involved. So the Nets starting well offensively in this second quarter. Barnes to Anunoby and now Flynn on the wing. Walker playing defense. Good switch. Barnes, that's a great touch pass, and Boucher is open in the corner, and he hits the three. So I can already sense that there's going to be a Raptor who decides, yep, I'm going to have a nice little 20-piece today when nothing else is going right for the team, and that'll bail us out. Walker to Claxton. Fakes the handoff. He's been good with the faking of the handoff, and he scores for two again. Claxton is so good in that regard. We have not missed. Ball knocked away by O'Neal, and Claxton gets the steal. Feeds it to Watford. One more for Johnson. Skip pass to Walker to the corner for O'Neal. Watford. Claxton takes a dribble. Shoots. Blocked. O'Neal with the rebound. Johnson for three. It's good. Well done by the Nets. Persistence is key. And we get it to go. So I think all that passing deserved a good shot. And we got it on the second try. Barnes sets the feed. It's off. Of course, another long rebound because they've been getting a ton of those. Barnes will go again, and he'll be short again. And this time, the Nets will get a rebound. So we are doing a much better job of finding the right shot and actually making them. Johnson to Walker. Drew the defenders. Walker was open. It's off, and it will sit on the top of the backboard. It is not leaving. It's stuck up there. So we got a stoppage, and oh my god, the broom was used to dislodge the ball from the top, but then it got stuck again. We're okay though. The ball has been recovered. Lonnie's been a little bit off today, shooting the ball from the field. He had a great game the other day. He hit 6 threes. He shot the ball well. He was, I think, leading the way for the Nets scoring-wise, but today has been a little bit of a different story. Play resumes with a point taken off the Nets total, presumably because Johnson had his toe on the line. Barnes to Flynn. Back to Barnes, and now Boucher will shoot the three, and he knocks it down again. I mean, that is just... Are we about to see a Boucher 20-point game? I guarantee he hasn't had one of these all season long. Walker with defense. Sharp is back in, but Walker is wide open. And he got the bounce! He got the bounce! It's going all sorts of directions, those Walker threes. And on that occasion, it basically sat up as well on the rim, but this time went down. Anunoby had to regather the ball after a wayward pass. Barnes deflected by O'Neal. Walker, driving kick. O'Neal relocated to the corner. Pump fake, 97% on threes. Oh my god, he didn't even hit the rim. Ew. It's off the Raptors, though. And that's more like it, O'Neal. He's got like 3 steals in this game, but he cannot buy a 3-pointer. That will... You're not going to get much more open for a 3-point attempt than that. And obviously... Well, that's just very on brand for Royce. Sharp, looking for a pass. Got it to Johnson. Had a bit of time to shoot the 3. Now he's going to shoot it. Bit of separation created, but a 3 was off. And now Boucher's going to push the pace. Oh my goodness. That is incredibly good pace for someone who's like Slender Man, basically. The Raptors have got a ton of those players in that mold. Watford, push shot. Doesn't get the bounce. Rebound Raptors, and Schroeder is also back into the game. Pass to Boucher again. The push shot again is off. This time, Walker is the presence we needed to halt Boucher, who's been on a bit of a run. What is Walker doing? He's just thrown it to the defense. And now Barnes, it's a 5-on-4. Schroeder will hold things up as numbers are allowed to get back for the Nets, and Schroeder will play a little bit of single man offense. Niner shoot. It hasn't left his hands. Now the pass to McDaniels. 3 is good. And the game is now tied. It is a nice little run here by the Raptors. And at the 6:09 mark, 35 apiece the score. So that is the situation that currently presents itself. Alrighty. So let's have a look at the box score. And here we are again with, well, a shit three-point percentage, but we're still in the game because of our, well, good shot-making tendencies inside the line. We're shooting the ball superbly from inside, 14 of 25. Still haven't gotten to the free throw line thus far this quarter, but it's good we've kept the Raptors off there. It's been a very free-flowing game. 20 rebounds apiece, 3 turnovers apiece, and, well, nearly the same amount of shots taken. The difference in the game for the Raptors is, even though they've made less shots, they're making more threes. I mean, we're taking a few less as well, but I think that's testament to what the Raptors have done defensively to run us off the line. You can see that there are a number of players who have been really good for the Nets. I mean, scoring-wise, we've got a nice little split. We've got 6 players who have scored between 5 and 8 points, which is, I mean, says a lot about the scoring distribution. But for the Raptors, Siakam is stuck on 8, Barnes is 6. Boucher in 4 minutes has been a nice little spark plug for them. But yeah, the 6 offensive rebounds is probably the biggest concern. I do think the Nets have been very good defensively. Royce O'Neal has already got a steal and 2 blocks. So he's had a good defensive start. Not so much on the offensive side of the ball, but yeah, that's the deal. Lonnie Walker tied for Mikal Bridges with the most shots. I don't really know what to make of that, but I wouldn't say this has been a bad performance thus far. I think we need to also do a little bit of monitoring of the Celtics versus the Bulls, and the Celtics are up 16 already with 5:33 to play, so that is not good for our hopes. Because we need Boston to not blow the Bulls out, and we need to win convincingly in order to secure top spot. It's not as simple as winning to get top spot in the group. We need to get a nice, healthy 14-point win first, and then continue on with with ensuring that it's out of our control, but Boston can't win by at least 22, and they're already basically nearly at that total. Dinwiddie will scoop it up. That was not on. He should have just gone the layup himself. Podol had already read it well before the pass was unleashed, and now Podol will hand it back to Schroeder, and the driving kick. Trent, rhythm 3. Good defense, but Podol with the rebound. It's always just going over the back, and the Raptors never have the position. Oh my god, are you kidding me? How many offensive rebounds are we going to give up? Fuck's sake. 7-0 run for the Raps. But it's just been all on the back of offensive rebounds. Like then, 3 offensive rebounds given away in 1 possession. Dinwiddie maneuvers through. Watford the ball fake. And he travelled. And he also airballed the 3. So, one or the other. So, turnovers starting to build up for the Nets. Even despite an improved, I wouldn't even say improved second quarter, because somehow it's actually provided worse results on the scoreboard. Siakam getting ready to check back in. Bridges returns. Dinwiddie also in. Well done by Watford. He read the pass, but wasn't able to retrieve. Podol lost the ball, and O'Neal was there with the active hands presence, but unfortunately he gets pinged with the foul instead. So 5:03 mark of the second quarter. Finney-Smith is back in. Where is Claxton, dude? Sharp remains in. Schroeder to Podol. Back to Schroeder. Podol. Oh, that's a good move. He basically was gliding and Sharp was in the air probably 2 seconds too early. Bridges. Corner for Finney-Smith. Good close out by Podol. Bridges. Relocates. Baseline 2. It's off. Rebound. Sharp. Back out to Bridges. He's open for 3. It's off. Finney-Smith chases up the rebound. And now Dinwiddie will just slow things down a little. Nope. Gives it to Dayron in the post. He's got Boucher on him and he lost the ball. Podol with the read. And now the fast break possession. And he scores for 2+1. That is a typical Royce O'Neal defensive play. If he doesn't get the steal, best believe he's giving away a layup and conceding the foul. So, I don't know why he hasn't put Claxton back into the game earlier. If Claxton is good enough to play, he should not be on a minutes restriction. I sort of understand CJ and trying to ease him back in, but here he is now right on cue. 41-35, the Raps. And it's been a good little fight back because the Nets were up 32-27. It's a 14-3 run since. Boucher to the bench. And he's been really, really good for them. Really, really good for them. Proved to be a little bit of an issue. The free throw is good by Siakam to get the lead out to 7. It's a 12-0 run. A 12-0 run for the Raptors. Can we please close the game or the half out a little bit better than the way it's gone for the last few minutes? Claxton is fouled by Siakam on a hold. Yep, so it's a little bit of a grab there by Siakam. And with 4:06 to play, the ball's inbounded. It's Claxton looking for Dinwiddie. Gets it to him. Screen set. That's a 3 on the pull-up, and that's off. Finney-Smith gets another rebound. He had Schroeder on him. O'Neal gets by, and he just fucking lost it out of bounds. This guy is so shit when he handles the ball. I don't understand how bad you can be. We've been very turnover happy in this second quarter. 4 minutes to play, and oh my god, Bridges just got lost there. Siakam luckily was well short on the 3. Bridges will get it to O'Neal, who could have shot the 3, but bit of a lack of confidence there, which is sort of weird to say. Bridges on the drive. Good defense. Bridges gets it up anyway and scores on the baseline, the short pull-up. First basket in about 4 minutes for the Nets from the field, and we're not getting to the line either, so that's problematic. And Anunoby underneath the basket. Kick out to Siakam. He'll drive and spin. Extra feed. Podol! Ah! That's a disgusting dunk. That is a disgusting dunk. So, fair make there by Podol. Dinwiddie, the drive and the make. And that was pretty smooth. Think we have to attack that a little bit more. Siakam trying to get into an early offensive set. The Claxton's right there. Good defense. Dinwiddie with a steal. And now Bridges will drive. No defensive presence. He probably walked, I reckon. There's a timeout for the Raptors. And I think this is more a timeout for the purpose of talking to the referees than anything. But it was good defense by the Nets on one end. And then no Podol, because he's sort of slow. He's a bit of a tree trunk. Bridges was able to capitalize on that and score off the window with no resistance there. So it's imperative we close out this half better than that, that middle portion of the second quarter where things were really tough. We are shooting it abysmally from 3. You compare like the 25-3 game to this game. It is just like worlds apart. We haven't even gotten to the free throw line. We're actually out rebounding them by 2. good amount of offensive rebounds in the last couple of minutes. Dorian Finney-Smith has had only 4 rebounds, but all 4 have been offensive. Bridges has 12. He's been good, but I'd like to see him at a higher volume. And then Spencer Dinwiddie has a cheeky little 7 points as well, but we're going to need to see a little bit more output from him. Claxton, Johnson barely played, but I would imagine that the second half minutes will beef up a little bit more. O'Neal's played 12, so he's played more than CJ, and Walker's also played 12, so a fair distribution of minutes here in this second quarter. So, look, there's no excuse for Claxton to not play 30 minutes by the end of this game. Because look at the plus minus with him on the floor, and look at the plus minus with Dayron on the floor. It is worlds apart. It's worlds apart. Like, we have looked so much weaker with Claxton off the floor than with him on the floor. Like, when he's on the floor, that defensive anchor role he really embraces is much more apparent than obviously without him. You've got a huge hole to fill. Siakam's got 11 for the Raptors. He is actually, well, one of only 2 players to be in double figures. Similarly, there is a pretty even distribution of scoring with the Raptors. They are very, very similar in terms of play style to us. The only thing really separating these 2 teams is probably the turnovers. We've had a few more. But that being said, I think we've been more, like, we've capitalized more from the turnovers that we have created. And the threes, like, 2 threes in a half is just absolutely not going to cut it. Absolutely not. So, I mean, we need a lift. We need a lift from 3. It's part, like, a good Raptors defensive performance. That being said, like, oh my goodness, Claxton the chase down. Barnes at a save it. Dinwiddie with the steal. There you go, the Claxton influence again. Dinwiddie the drive. He's waiting for help. And he got it to Finney-Smith. Back to Dinwiddie in the corner. He's got Podol on him. Siakam's there in the hole, helping out. Dinwiddie the scoop. Oh, that's a good move. It somehow didn't go down, and then Claxton wasn't able to secure the offensive rebound, even though he was right there for it. Barnes out to Siakam to the corner for Schroeder. It was a good move by Dinwiddie. I can't complain with that shot. Just somehow found a way to rim out. Siakam the spin. Claxton the block again. It's a goaltend. I mean, I'm interested to see the replay on this because that one did not look like a goaltend. Have a look. Oh. 100% that's not a goaltend. And the green light is going to go on. And that is an excellent call. Because I'm pretty sure that's a block. Score check for Bulls Celtics, and the Celtics are up 16. As it stands, we'll end 3rd in our group. Because we don't have enough points to... Well, we're losing already. We have to win first and foremost, but we need... Well, now they're down 19. Shit. In order for us to remain ahead of Boston, we can't get outscored by more than 8 in point differential. So right now we'd have to be up by what's now 17 the game. So we'd have to be up by 8 at the end of the game. And as that would stand, it wouldn't be enough to overtake Orlando because we're plus 14 away from overtaking them. So we have to win by at least 14. Man. They don't look like remotely coming close to stopping. Yeah, it's a block. Oh yeah, and it's going to be our ball as well because we had possession, so that is a clean ball. The Bulls must not have Caruso again because much like the previous game where, they conceded 16 threes in a half, they've conceded 13 threes in this They've conceded 13 threes in the first half to Boston, which isn't really surprising. Boston are crazy good. Crazy good. They've gone on a nice little second quarter run, as well as a late first quarter run. The Bulls just could not buy a bucket for about 5 minutes. Alrighty. So Nets ball on the side with that 2-pointer being ruled out. That goaltending call was overturned. So Nets retain. The Nets retain that timeout. And obviously the 2 points get chalked off. So big wins there. Bridges get passed to O'Neal. He'll drive and kick it back out to Finney-Smith. He's going to drive. Back out to O'Neal. Open three. Pump fake. Yes! You already knew as soon as he pump faked. I don't know how Raptors players fall for it or any player falls for it. Like, he does pump fakes like every single time. You should just be able to preempt it. Podol, the push shot rims out and the Nets going on a late first half run, which was essential. Dinwiddie, lob! What a dime! 2-point lead. And now Barnes will shoot over Dinwiddie. He's well short. A rebound, Bridges. We can continue this momentum on this sequence. Bridges to Dinwiddie. Rhythm 3. It's good! Woo! Okay, that was a little bit. I've got to contain myself. It's the second quarter. Calm your ass down. Barnes. Drive. Elbow J. It's off. Another rebound for the Nets. We've gotten these stops. And we've continued to force the middies. Dinwiddie pull up 3. It's good again. Spencer is on a heater. So barely a second separates the shot in the game clock. We have responded to the Raptors' 12-0 run in the middle portion of the second with a 15-0 run in the last 3 minutes. Schroeder, one-on-one with Claxton. He's going to shoot the 3 over the top. It had to be a high arcer. It was off. Got to put one up. Doe! Oh! It was close. Just a couple feet short, but that's a very, very good end to the first half. And we talk about the team, for some reason, absolutely choking at the back end of the first half. In this scenario, absolutely brilliant. I'm about 1 minute behind the broadcast. Well, according to my, what I'm watching it on, I'm perfectly, I cannot go any further into the future. Spencer's had a really good end to that first half. A really good end. And I mean, he just relishes the occasion. He saw that I put him on the spotlight and he's like, all right, well, I've absolutely got to show off here. And he, well, we said a few minutes ago, we need players like Spencer and Claxton and Johnson to really start, well, giving us the separation that we need. And, well, Spencer Dinwiddie at the back end, I mean, he was just shooting a bunch of heat checks. He was also getting involved in getting into the passing lanes. He had an excellent end to the first half. Look at the difference, though, right? If you look at the plus minuses and you see where the successes are risen from, O'Neal was a plus 12. I think he played 14 straight minutes, so that is absolutely not on. But, I mean, if he's contributing, if he's contributing to a team that's winning, then I don't really care. Claxton is a plus 20 in a game where we're up 8. And Dayron is a negative 12. So, right there you're seeing, both players cancel each other out. For every minute Claxton has been on the floor, he's had to make up for those 9 Dayron minutes, which were incredibly damaging. It's very obvious to see that it's just there's two lineups, the Dayron lineup, the Claxton lineup. The Claxton lineup today has been far more successful than the Dayron lineup. It is really as black and white as that. So yeah, Dinwiddie has been superb for us. 13, 3, and 4 with 2 steals involved. Claxton with 8 and 6. He's got 3 blocks already. He's been an excellent defensive presence. And then Mikal Bridges hasn't gotten to the free throw line yet, which is something we need to look at. But 6 rebounds, 2 assists to go with those 12 points. That's been pretty handy. Off the bench, haven't seen too much scoring punch, but we have seen a little bit of defensive activity, which is always important. So that is the halftime break for you. We went on a nice late quarter run. I may actually just take a little bit of time just to go to the team stats. We scored 30 points in the quarter. You can see if we can compare the field goal percentage and the 3-point percentage. That well and truly is starting to gain a little bit of separation. The threes, well, it looked pretty dire. We were 2 of 13 and then all of a sudden hit 3 in a row to end the half. So hopefully that is a sign of things to come going into the second half. 3 of 3 to close out the half, which is good. The turnover number remains at 6, so I'm pretty happy with that. As you saw, the 15-0 run was a byproduct of doing multiple things, but one of those was cutting down the turnovers. I don't think we had one in that 3 or 4 minute stretch. So really good shit. We've got our largest lead of the game. Points in the paint have been really, really good as well. I think that's why we've got this lead, because even though the threes haven't been falling, when we go on the interior, good things happen. And conversely for the Raptors, 13 of 31 compared to our 18 of 32. I mean, there is the difference in the game right there, and they haven't gotten to the free throw line to compensate for all those misses. Primarily because, like you saw late in the first half, mid-ranges were a big trait of theirs. And for them, that is not going to cut it because they were missing a ton of them. The rebounds are pretty good, 30 to 25. That is another field that we just continue to be good at in this season. And it's been a good gang rebounding effort. There's been some offensive rebounds we needed to chase up. Finney Smith was really important in getting that done. And then you can see, not many turnovers in the game. We've only gotten 4 points off 5 Raptors turnovers. I don't believe that. I don't actually believe that. Yeah, that's an interesting one. But you can see, we've had some really good defensive games recently. I mean, against Miami, that wasn't an opposition that really counted, but already 6 blocks and 5 steals in a half of basketball. That is incredibly good by this team. The only issue is that we've only gotten 5 turnovers. But I guess that being said, even though we're not turning the ball over or forcing turnovers, defensively been really active, been disruptive, interrupted them a lot. There's been a number of deflections which won't go down in the box score, but I think that's been a really key part of us getting this lead. Now, the key from here is, most importantly, first and foremost, you've got to get the win. That is the number one key thing about this game. You have to get the win. Because not just for regular season record and all that jazz, but the dynamics of the in-season tournament. We need to win by 14 at least to overtake Orlando, and then we also need to we don't need to outbeat Boston. Boston have to outbeat us by less than 8. They have the tiebreaker over us. So if they do anything as simple as evening it up, then they will overtake us, even though we may have overtaken Orlando. So right now, as it stands, it is a very interesting dynamic because the Boston Celtics, as it currently stands, lead by 19. So already 19 points. That would get him above Orlando. Or will it? No, it won't. But they're very, very close to overtaking Orlando. It won't matter if they overtake Orlando. I mean, in order for us to win the group, we have to overtake Orlando, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah. Actually, you know what? I can see if I can Is there a way for me to show the in-season tournament? Here we go. This could help. Tournament standings. Here we go. You'll be able to see it a little bit better here, the picture. A lot has already been decided. More so in the West. You can see, like, nearly every team is eliminated, or more teams are eliminated in the West than the East. Only 4 teams are ruled out of the East. You can see for us, though, here is the picture for you. It doesn't really give us the point differential, which is a little bit stupid, but you can see that 2 teams are on 2-1, and then 1 is on 3-1. So it's going to be about having a higher point differential than Orlando, essentially. We're well on our way to getting there. Boston were dead even before the game started, so they are close to getting that done. But it's going to be primarily in our control. The last 3 minutes and 47 of that first half, we had a 17-2 run. So that's the difference in the game right there, right now. And we've seen how important that, late quarter runs are to the result of a game. Like the Heat game, the Philly game, for like a 2 to 3 game stretch, that was an issue of ours. We could not close out the half. But in this particular match, we may be seeing the benefits of it, which is a good sign. But second half keys to the game, we need to hit more threes. That doesn't mean take a crap ton more. Obviously that'll help, but if we're going to take more threes, we have to shoot them at a better percentage than this. Because, 31.5% looks actually incredibly good, given we were shooting at 2 of 13, probably until the, 2 or 3 minutes left in the second quarter. So, yeah. So, I think that's probably, we benefited strongly from that late quarter run. That's inflated a number of stats. Let me see if I can get the interesting thing is, both teams have had a good amount of offensive rebounds. Raptors have had 9. The Nets have had 7. Interesting thing, though, is that both teams are, in single digits for second chance points. The Raptors have 8 and we've got 4. So even despite, all these steals, yeah, not much going on in that regard. And the personal fouls, I don't know if that's gonna even out in the second half, and there's gonna be a lot of personals called. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. This second half is gonna be a quality second half, I reckon. Is there anything that I just want to see the quarter by quarter breakdown. I want to see if there's a possibility that I can break this down into quarters. Quarter 1. I'm just looking at the shot charts for quarter 1 and quarter 2. Quarter 1, basically nearly every one of our baskets were in the restricted area. In the second quarter, the Raptors had a few more makes from the outside, but they were far less, aggressive. Took a lot of shots at the left elbow at the back end of the quarter. The Nets started to make some threes from top of the key, and they did have a couple of corner threes, but we've done a pretty good job of finding our spots in the interior. That's been a real key. If you just look at the shot chart of the first half, we've been very, very smart with it. And in the second quarter, we saw a lot more. Well, we saw a lot more reward for that. So yeah, that's going to be key. Second half, the big key is going to be stopping them from, evening out and getting back to the norm. They've shot 36% from the field, 26% from three. Conversely, we're 48% from the field and 31% from three. So far better shooting in comparison to Toronto. And Claxton being a plus 12, that has been so important for this team. Royce O'Neal's been in the game for some good minutes. He was in the game for that run to close out the first half. And with Cam Johnson out, we needed players that can fill the void and really step up. And O'Neal's been pretty good defensively. He's had a couple little errors, a couple really brain-dead fouls or turnovers, but that aside, he's been pretty solid. The Raptors have gotten a lot more benefit from their bench. Boucher has had gotten 8 points in 6 minutes, and he's a plus 9. And in a game you're down 8, yeah, that's not great. Like 3 players in their starting 5, Anunoby, Siakam, Barnes, arguably their best 3 players. They're all at least a -10 in the plus minus or worse. So if you're a Raptors supporter, you'd want to see a lot more. Anunoby's got 0 points and 2 rebounds. He has done stuff all. He's missed all 5 of his shots. Scottie Barnes is 2 of 9. He hasn't made a shot inside the line. And then Siakam has not made a 3. So as it stands, I'm very, very happy with that first half. 44 points for the Raptors. It's been a good defensive effort, but there is a long, long way to go. And obviously a little bit more at stake as well. So let's hope that we can get the job done in that respect. Yeah. What are your thoughts, though? Let me know in the chat. That is obviously important. Go around the grounds. Do you want to see any other stats or scores? Let me know, because I can check. Hornets up or down to the Knicks. Also, just a quick note, LaMelo Ball is out for at least the Knicks game, so the Hornets come to Brooklyn in a couple of days' time, so he could be missing. And then the Thunder are beating the Timberwolves, the Mavericks beating the Rockets, obviously the Warriors and the Kings yet to start because they're on the West Coast, and then the Cavaliers up 3, and the Heat beating the Bucks by 3. So yeah. We'll be doing the final 2 games of the week, so if you want to stay tuned for those and you are new around here, make sure to subscribe, and also like the stream as well. That is much appreciated. We've got a donation button as well, so if you're feeling like you want to donate something to the cause, make sure to do so. I've just knocked the microphone. Hopefully it hasn't made too much noise or distortion. That is already a turnover. Great start, Brooklyn. Schroeder in transition. He probably could have shot the 3. He's going to look for the bounce pass to Podol, who kicks it back out to Barnes, weaves through, and we have a foul. It didn't go down, but 2 shots. So it's going to be important that we don't let them back into the game off the back of free throws. They've only taken 5 the entirety of the game until this point. So it's a good start for the Raptors. Barnes at the free throw line for 2. I believe Claxton is the guilty party. Barnes misses the first, and that's absolutely not what you want. Johnson is starting the second half. He only played 11 minutes. Claxton only played a handful as well. So I want to see more minutes from him. Oh, well, he played 15 minutes, so that's not really a handful, but Claxton needs to play at least 30. I'd like to see him play probably 18 of the 24 in this half, because he's done nothing but good things. Claxton looking for Johnson. Gives it to Bridges instead. Top of the key. At the elbow. That's another turnover. And Schroeder read it. He had Dinwiddie on the back shoulder, and he scored for 2. It's a 5-on-4, though, because Schroeder was late to the play. Dinwiddie was fouled, and that's going to be 2 shots. So Raptors getting a couple of early opportunities here to get into the lead a little bit, and where we've been the guys that have probably been in charge of that a A couple turnovers early, despite only having 6 in the half. Not a good start, but I'd rather get those bad habits out of the game nice and early. And, yeah, because, I'm not really a fan of us turning the ball over in the late game. The 2 free throws made by Dinwiddie. He leads the way scoring-wise for the Nets off the back of an explosive end to the first half. I can't even speak. The defensive 3-second call. Why is the shot clock still going? I don't know who's been hit with that, but free throw for the Raptors, nonetheless, already 3 free throws in the quarter. And they only had 5 for the entirety of the half, but they've missed another free throw. So really not putting us to the sword. Damn, we beat the Raptors in every game last year. I swear they were our bogey side for quite a while. They always were a difficult team to play for like 4 years. A little bit less scary now. Siakam doesn't shoot the 3, and he was given the space to do so. Schroeder was looking for a bit of touch and feel. He didn't get the bounce on the floater, and the Nets get the rebound. So Dinwiddie will wait for the screen to arrive by Claxton. Uses it. Skip past to Finney Smith, who drives down the middle. Anunoby was there, and it was a good defensive stop. So Siakam to the corner for Barnes. Mikal comes to help. Good rotation across. Schroeder dead to shoot the 3, and it's good. Dinwiddie was... Bro, Spence, that was probably one of the most lazy closeouts I've ever seen. He didn't even try to contest that. And quite frankly, he's got to be better than that. Because everyone else were alert on the rotations. Johnson for 3, that was a bit of a jack up and another miss. Schroeder will pass to Siakam and cross up and shoot, and he will be fouled. So more free throws coming up for the Raptors, I think. And man, they're basically doubled up in 2.5 minutes on the free throws they had in the first half. So a little bit more assertiveness in driving it to the rim, which I think they were a bit more scared and tentative to do in the first half, knowing the existence of Claxton. But that is another missed free throw by the Raptors. They've missed a lot of them. A lot of them. It will be another free throw, but they are not nearly enough reaping the rewards of what could arise at the free throw line. Siakam's second is good. He got the bounce. There must be something about that rim, because that bounced the same way as a Lonnie Walker 3 in the first half. So Dinwiddie now could have been hit with a push-off, honestly. Claxton also got sent to the deck. 10 to shoot, and the ball has not left Dinwiddie's hands. He's got to drive it, and he's fouled again, and it's going to be more shots. So a much more slower tempo to start this second half here. We've had so many free throws all ready to open. The Raptors have had 5. The Nets are coming up on their 3rd and 4th in the quarter, and we are only 2.5 in. So between both teams in the first half, a grand total of, I believe, first Dinwiddie free throw is good. First half, we had 8 between two teams. In 2.5 minutes of the second half, we've had 9. So, crazy stuff here. Crazy stuff. So, second free throw for Dinwiddie is good. He has been perfect from the charity stripe. 4-4 today. Actually, I believe he may be... Yeah, no, he's 4-4. Schroeder. Out to Anunoby. It's a 5-point lead. Corner for Barnes. They have not taken a 3 in this quarter, I don't think. Siakam back out to Barnes. It's good defense by Dinwiddie. Claxton there with the help. We get the rebound. Good rebounding effort. Johnson will slow things down and wait for Dinwiddie to be on offer for a, safe pass. Here he is to Finney Smith. Ball fake. One more for Johnson. Catch and shoot three. It's good. Well worked out by the Nets. And it all started with Johnson's composure to not run the break when there absolutely wasn't an outlet to capitalize on. Schroeder, good defense. Anunoby on the catch. The response is good as well. So both teams starting to make their shots and finding different ways to do it. Claxton will look for a pass. The handoff to Bridges. And he's going to roll it back out to the logo. The high screen is set by Claxton. Bridges. Baseline J. It's short, but a rebound by Claxton. And he will go himself, it looks like. Nope. Sends it back out to Dinwiddie. 7 to shoot. High screen by Clax again. Pull up 3. Dinwiddie. It's an air ball. Bodies bump. And it's going the other way. So 8 minutes to play. That's a turnover. And that is absolutely what you don't want. We never got anything going on that sequence. And Spencer's got to do a better job of that. Finney-Smith got hit as well. Because Johnson and... Oh, wow. That's a great defensive play by Dinwiddie. Finney-Smith right on cue. It's a two-handed throwdown on the break. Spencer Dinwiddie, good deflection. Finney-Smith is bleeding badly. He was involved in that break, but it was CJ and Finney-Smith colliding on the baseline a couple of possessions ago after that Dinwiddie airball. Yeah, ouch. And CJ did a pretty good job to save it as well. But we have a timeout at the 7:43 mark of this third quarter. Why is the clock still running? Is my question. But we'll resolve that in just a minute. You can see for the Nets still up 7. But, you know, there's been vast improvement by the Raptors in this third quarter in finding ways to score. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a decent effort by this team to sort of overcome the early game adversity. You know, this game hasn't been easy by any stretch. It's been one of those games which has been a bit more of a grind. A lot of turnovers in this quarter. Quite a few fouls being given away. So, yeah, I can imagine that there's going to be a fair bit of run and gun in this second half. You can see for the Raptors. 11 to Schroeder. And 12 to Siakam, but they aren't shooting it nearly as well as they should. From nearly, well, basically every spot. At the free throw line, they've gotten there a fair portion in this third quarter, but they have not capitalized one bit. The rebounding, they've gotten a lot of those, but not nearly enough second chance points that they would want. From a Nets perspective, the starting five have been exactly what we've required. Finney-Smith has not done too much with the scoring element of the game, but that physical presence we've needed, 4 offensive rebounds, 2 steals, that sort of stuff, works wonders for your team and the chances of winning. So, yeah, starting 5 being really key. I can already foresee Royce O'Neal playing clutch minutes because he's already played 15 of those, and I'm not... Well, I don't really expect anything else by the Jacques Vaughn minute allocation. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well. If you're new, we'll be back in a couple of days for Nets versus Hornets. So make sure to show your support in more ways than one. Yeah, that'd be much appreciated. But as it currently stands, the Nets in a decent spot, but not a good enough spot if they want to top the group for the in-season tournament. In case you're wondering, what's Lonnie Walker doing going down to the rooms? Lonnie Walker's gone down the race, which isn't a good sign. But this is a really weird time to do it as well. Like, we're already... Like, he's been on the bench for 5 minutes. What's he doing going down there now when he hasn't played a minute of the second half? Claxton is there. Schroeder shoots a 3. It's good. And I mean, that is probably a shot in the first half you'd give away and probably be confident about them missing. In this quarter, though, they're 4 of 6 from the field, the Raptors, and it's helped them cut down the deficit in half. Clax. Dinwiddie. 3. Bit of space. That is well off. And that was a jack up. He thought he was Dennis Schroeder. And he absolutely isn't. Barnes backs down Bridges. Claxton, the denial again! Johnson, run the break. Layup, he blew it. Finney-Smith missed the follow. And we're going to get a jump ball. It's a tie-up. My goodness. Oh, that is very close to a goaltend, but it's one of those line ball ones and you can't overturn it because it wasn't a foul call, there wasn't a stoppage in play. It's going to be a jump ball. Good persistence by the Nets on the boards again. I'd back in Clax to win the jump ball over Anunoby. So he's going to have to knock it over his left shoulder, Dinwiddie and Finney-Smith. The two he wants to bat it to, and we save it. No, we don't. Fucking hell. That is the dumbest fucking sequence that could have possibly occurred. The ball it wasn't even cleanly batted. Like, Claxton tried to... Like, you can't knock it over your left shoulder with your left hand. That's so awkward. He should have used his right to not only... Like, he could have gotten a bit more momentum on the jump. Johnson had to save it. He's just thrown it straight to Scottie Barnes, and then they've scored from the end one because Finney-Smith fouled. When it was a cakewalk of a layup. I don't know why you would foul there. So a 1-point game. Finney-Smith can't pass it to Johnson. That's a good bit of defensive work by the Raptors. And now Dinwiddie will drive, and he is fouled again. And it will be 2 more free throws. He is making a living at the line in this third quarter. 2 more coming up for Spencer. In a quarter where the shots really aren't falling for the Nets, and the Raptors have turned it up a notch defensively, these free throws that the Nets are getting are proving pretty essential. O'Neal checks back into the game. Johnson to the bench. So I imagine because of the leg cramping that Johnson has been experiencing is like JV saying, oh, we want to play him in shorter stints is just code word for I want to play Royce O'Neal more. Because that's what's happening here. The Cam Johnson minutes that he would usually play are being filled by Royce O'Neal. Siakam, good defense by Doe. Oh, you're kidding me. That's another foul on Doe. The interesting thing about that foul being called is Finney-Smith was constantly reaching in for about 4 consecutive moments on that sequence, and there wasn't a foul called there, but as soon as Siakam puts up the shot, they actually call the whistle. Mr. Whammy is behind the basket. Can he put off the man? And he does. So Whammy proving to be a vital presence in this second half because, I mean, obviously the Raptors were shooting up the other end and Whammy was not present, but now he is, and he's actually putting him off. Funnily enough. So the Raptors shooting abysmally from the line, if I have to be quite honest with you. Siakam's second free throw is good, and even despite the Raptors playing a much, much better quarter, already 17 points with 6 minutes to play. There's a foul there on Barnes. Trying to defend Bridges off the ball. He was trying to receive the handoff. We still lead. Even despite, the Raptors getting to the line far more than they should. Claxton puts the ball on the floor. Shoots over Podol. It's good defense. Oh my goodness! A bit of fortune. It bounced off Siakam's foot. He regathered it, but then somehow it ended up in the lap of Claxton. And at that point, it was curtains for the Raptors defense. They were all getting forward. Schroeder, baseline 2. Oh my God, O'Neal! You idiots! You had the ball! He's so soft when he has the basketball. Oh my God, he's shooting a 3. Pump fake. Oh my God. They run the break. Trent for 3. They take the lead. I just knew it. As soon as that shot was unleashed. O'Neal is such a tosser, mate. We could have had a rebound and we could have been going the other way to get it to a 2-point possession. Dinwiddie, the 3, that is well off. And all of a sudden, the Raptors may have just gotten over the hump. Barnes, extra feed. And the 2 is blown by Podol. He had an open layup. Claxton was not there. Dinwiddie, can you stop shooting 3s? Brother, drive the ball. Dinwiddie has not scored a field goal in this quarter and he's taken 5. Siakam, it's good defense by O'Neal, who actually got the rebound, surprisingly. Raptors up 1. O'Neal. Oh, God, he's actually... This is worrying because he is the only player that has touched the ball. Okay, he passed it to Dinwiddie. That's good. Pass to O'Neal. Corner for Walker. Catch and shoot 3. That has to be a foul, and it is. 3 shots. It was a bailout. 4 seconds left on the shot clock, and we will get the benefit of 3 free throws. So, 3 shots for Walker. The first is good. He ties the game at 66 apiece. Those rebounds by Royce, absolutely. Like, if there is one pet peeve I have about O'Neal, oh my God, missed free throw for Walker. That's the one pet peeve I have about O'Neal. The fact that that guy cannot get a firm rebound for his life. When the basketball is hoisted above his head, he always gets it knocked out of his hands, or he always, like, tries to embrace or brace, and he can never actually... Like, he actually does more harm than good by bracing. Because he's, like, trying to preempt the contact, but in the end, he just, like, shirks away from it and loses the ball. So, Raptors, Achua roll. Good defense by Dayron. Met Achua vertically, and now on the break, Bridges the drive. Try to pass it. I don't know who to. But there must have been some knee-on-knee contact. That's a good foul by Royce. Never thought I'd say those words. Schroeder is very slow to get up. He looks okay. He just got rocked a little bit. And Bridges also... Well, Mikal was obviously the bloke that turned it over. And that's what you hate sometimes when Mikal, like, gets himself into a spot of bother. That's another missed free throw by Achua. And it's going to be Schroeder who's going to have to go to the bench. He looks a little bit groggy, a little bit ginger. The Raptors amazingly are losing this game. I mean, our third quarter has been one of the most unconvincing third quarters I've ever seen, yet we've managed to stay afloat due to a number of factors. Dinwiddie, O'Neal, Sharp, Bridges, Walker, the 5 on the floor. Where has Watford been this whole quarter? 7 to shoot, and only Dinwiddie and Royce have the ball. Here's Bridges now, weaving through, missing the 2, and somehow the Raptors get the board. Even with Dayron having that valuable positioning, Trent gets by the closeout. Achua had to have shuffled his feet. Didn't matter. Dinwiddie with the steal. Bounce pass to Bridges. Euro! And we've got the lead. Barnes, early offense. That's a wild layup. He missed it. Barnes again. Missed it again. Dayron there. Let's close out this third the exact way we ended the second. Walker in the corner, thought about the three, but it was good defense by Siakam, and Dinwiddie will slow it down with 11 to shoot. He's going to spin through, and Malachi Flynn is hit with the foul, and Dinwiddie again at the free throw line. I don't think he had a free throw at the end of the first half. He may have had two, if we're lucky. Don't be upset, y'all, but I got the Raptors. I mean, we are not playing convincing basketball, but here we are, and we're still winning. My regular I miss Cam Thomas comment. Well, we could do with Cam for a little bit of offense right now. Please, bro, attack the paint. We can't keep relying on threes. Well, that's what I was saying at halftime. Like we'd hit 5 of 16 or whatever it was, and I was like, we need to make more threes, but that doesn't necessarily mean attempt more of them to get to that 3-point mark. But it really feels like that's the route we've gone in this third quarter. We need Ben and Cam back. We do need Ben back, but you know what? Like, I think a game like today, we haven't needed Ben. Cam has been the guy we've really missed. Spencer has shot the ball abysmally in this third quarter. He's taken 5 shots, and I think a part of his success in the first half was the balance he was finding. But in this second half, he has not found the balance. 4 of his 5 threes, or 4 of his 5 shots have been threes. He's been really good in terms of reading the offense, though, of the Raptors. He's got 4 steals already. So he's been awesome in that regard. Claxton has 4 blocks. So, yeah. Like, the threes, we've actually not taken that many. Actually, we have. We've taken 7 and made 1 in the quarter. And turned the ball over a lot. This is why I'm saying, how are we winning this game? We have gotten the Raptors to the free throw line. We've shot the ball like trash. We've turned the ball over a ton, yet we still lead. What is going on? Okay, that's... Fuck's sake, it's the bullshit box score playing. There's like little videos on the side of the ESPN box score, and sometimes it just plays like randomly, and it just catches me off guard every single time, and I just have to like think twice. Am I tripping? All right. So the Nets, despite a very abysmal third quarter, in a number of ways, we're still in the game, and I think it's on the back of the Raptors also turning the ball over, us getting stops at the right time. Like, being able to run the break a few times, and I think another key part of that is the fact that the Raptors just cannot make a free throw. Dinwiddie at the line makes the first. These will be our 13th and 14th free throws. So even though the Raptors have gotten there a ton, we have also done the same thing. Dinwiddie makes both. He has been superb at the line. He's been doing something the Raptors cannot do for their life, if their life depended on it, and that's make the free throw. The Raptors are 50% from the line on 14 attempts. Nets have had the same amount. Dinwiddie's been there 8 times and made all of them. So he's outdoing them by himself. And Anunoby responds with a mid-range 2. So 2-point game. Dinwiddie to Walker. And Claxton got absolutely decked. Sorry, that's Bridges. And it's more free throws, and it'll be Mikal's first 2 shots at the line, because the Nets are well and truly in the bonus. This has been just a very slow tempo third quarter. Very slow tempo. It's come with all these free throws. So Mikal at the free throw line, 2 more shots, 2 minutes to play, 2-point game. And these are his first 2 free throws of the game. So, buzz, I know. They call me a rap god in some places. They don't. They absolutely don't. All right. Second free throw for Mikal to get it to a 2-possession game. Yes, sir. Bank it in. So, 73-69. 2 minutes to play. Third quarter, O'Neal harassing Siakam. Good defense by Sharp, who rolled over. Flynn, defended by Walker. It's a pass to Trent. Got rid of Bridges and then scored the baseline too. Bridges is absolutely in the shits because, like, he's just been hit in the crown jewels by a push-off. So, here's what it is. Walker gonna drive, bounce pass. That was way too saucy for Dayron. It wasn't even on. I don't know why he even tried that pass. The Raptors, he faked the handoff and Flynn scores for too high off the window. Dayron couldn't roll over quickly enough and the game is now tied at 73 apiece. Dinwiddie just needs to slow things down. We can't afford another turnover. Spencer. Screen by Royce. That could have been a foul, but it was good defense by Siakam. He stayed with him, didn't let him get by. And now Flynn is wide open on a three, and that is off. The rebound is secured by Dayron. On 2 occasions, it could have been the Raptors. O'Neal pulls up the three. Oh, he's hit it! He's hit the three! That is absolutely unnecessary, Royce. You're not supposed to hit those. Flynn will pass to Achua. He's going to respond. No, he's not. And it's a rebound for Dinwiddie. We have not seen any Watford minutes in this third quarter. O'Neal is going to shoot it again. What is this guy even thinking? Early offense, when we could have just held for one. I mean, was the shot there? Yes. But do I want Royce taking it? No. Siakam in a switch. He's got Sharp on him. He's going to drive. And he's going to be fouled. And it's going to be 2 more. 4 seconds to play in this third quarter. And the Raptors cannot take the lead going into the last. But they have done everything that is required to get back into this game. Should they have the lead? Probably. But we gave ourselves enough of a buffer to, get us in a more optimal position than what a usual third quarter would place us in. So, first free throw is good. Sharp goes to the bench for CJ, who's been on a very high minutes restriction. Scottie Barnes is in. So, 1 free throw to come for Siakam. The key is going to be getting the rebound. We do not have a center on the court. So if they do miss, which isn't out of the question, got to box out, got to get the rebound. It's a make for Siakam, so that doesn't matter, but we can't turn it over. Ball's got to be inbounded. Dinwiddie, 2, 1, shot. And it was off the window, but it is off. And we've got 1 quarter to play. At this point, I'm just ruling out the fact that we are going to finish top of the group. Absolutely not finishing on top of the group because the Celtics, right? The Celtics, we needed them to win by 22 or less, which isn't an awfully difficult ask, and for us to win by 14. Currently, we are only up 1, and the Celtics are up by 29 points on the Bulls. 29 points. And we've got 8.5 to play. So unless the Bulls wrestle it back somehow, I can't see how, the chances of us getting what we need being too high. I thought they were throwing because I saw who was on the court. I thought that was the starting lineup. DeRozan's got 19. Bro, Levine has thrown, man. He's got 9 shots up and he's scored 1. Oh, fucking hell. Let's have a look at our game. Spencer is shooting the ball abysmally from the field. He was 0 of 7, and he was 0 of 6 from 3 in that quarter. He's just been god-awful, but he's been good at getting to the free throw line. He's at 8 free throws. He's made all of them. So he's done something that has actually been incredibly vital in us keeping the lead. Mikal only had 1 shot in the entire third quarter, and I think that was part of the problem. Overall, shooting the ball, worse than we were in the first half. We were at 48% from the field, 31% from three. So those numbers have got to lift. The good thing is we chopped down the number of offensive rebounds we've given away. The bad thing is, the turnovers, we doubled it in one quarter from what we had at the half. And you can see the Raptors, their shooting from three is lifted. Their shooting overall is lifted, but obviously it's still not good. And their free throw number is really costing them at the moment. They could have had the ascendancy going into the last. They've been pretty good looking after the basketball, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see who is the guy that steps up for the Raptors, or if it's a shared effort. I think in that third quarter it was a shared effort, but usually you have an allocated person that you go to down the stretch, and the Raptors, I mean, if you look at the box score, it's not really... There's nothing really too blaring about who may take charge. The five on the floor to start the last. Dayron is on the bench, so we are playing small ball. 5 on the floor is Watford. Oh, never mind, Claxton is in. So I'm a fan of that. And Anunoby got freed up, and the 3 rimmed out. It was halfway down. That was a perfect set play by the Raptors to open the last quarter, but unfortunately luck wasn't on their side. Cut by Claxton. It was... What was CJ doing? He didn't even have any intention of chasing up that loose ball. O'Neal did well to nearly force a tie-up. He forced the miss instead. O'Neal, alley-oop! Claxton! Good adjustment in the air. And I thought CJ was going to pull up for 3, but he did well to draw the numbers and then catch the Raptors off guard. So a 3-point lead for Lynn. Walker nearly got tripped up trying to chase him down. Now Anunoby. Good defense by Watford. Back to Flynn. And there is a foul on the floor by Watford, who was beaten to the spot by Flynn and bumped him. So, bro, O'Neal loves a good lob pass. Almost the same amount as Spencer. 78-75. Flynn, gonna drive, weave through. Layup is well and truly off. And there is another foul, but it's not on Flynn. It's on whoever the Raptor was that got... Well, it's not... Sorry. The Raptors did not commit the foul. The Raptors were fouled. It was on the floor. I believe McDaniels was fouled by Johnson under the basket. We've got to capitalize on this, man, because we're forcing a couple of missed shots. Flynn will jack up a 3 and hit it in the face of the defender. Absolutely nothing you can do about that. He's not knocking that down most times, but that just goes to show you've got to get the rebound. The threes, like the amount of times this season we've given up threes from second chance points, like it's like a bullet wound every single time you see that and witness that. Johnson inbounds it to Claxton, back to Johnson, across to O'Neal, in rhythm. He didn't even hit the fucking basket, bro. Anunoby to the corner for Boucher. The 3 is off and a rebound for Johnson. Far out, mate. Oh, wow. Johnson was open for 3. O'Neal. Bro, what is Watford doing, man? He was awfully nonchalant. Nearly just let the Raptors get the ball there. CJ, 7 to shoot. Good cross. Layup is good. And that was a smooth move by CJ. We needed a little bit of stability and just a bit of calm about it. And that is the composure that CJ provided on that drive. And Anunoby for 3. It's off. Rebound O'Neal. And he's going to push the pace. When he was pushing the pace, that's where we saw the success. Against the Bulls, Watford just lost the ball. So there goes the composure. McDaniels, the Euro, passes it out to himself. What are you talking about? He just threw it to himself, you clown. Bro, he fucking passed it to himself. That is rubbish. Mate, don't even get me started about what I just witnessed there. I'm not even going to talk about it. we're just going to acknowledge that something happened, and then we just forget about it. Let's go Raptors. I mean, yeah, Raptors, Nets fans, all in the chat. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you are enjoying, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe if you are new. We'll be back for as many Nets games as we can possibly do, especially at the back end of this this 2023 calendar year. Next is Charlotte Nets in a couple of days, and then it'll be Nets Magic before the in-season tournament shit happens. Which we may or may not be involved in. Why the fuck is Royce playing all these minutes? Bro, I don't even want to start on this. Because I'm just going to get agitated, dude. Because, yeah, it is, like, it baffles me every single time. I mean, I get what he provides. Defensively is more pesty than I reckon any other net. But does it compensate for the brain-dead crap that he does on offense? I'm not too sure. That is the box score for the Nets. I mean, O'Neal is 2 of 7 from 3. We had this discussion the other day. He barely ever will take a shot inside the three-point line. He is the equivalent of Ben Simmons if threes were layups. Once he goes inside the arc, he shits himself. I don't think he knows what he's doing. He rolls it in and then just passes it out. Like, you know every time he's not going to put up a shot because he cannot shoot. I wish we traded Royce for some important role player that can rebound the board, pass into others, impact the game, shoots threes. But life is depressed whenever I see Royce playing. It kills my brain. Yeah, that's really how it is. I mean, the thing is, everything you just said is supposed to be Royce O'Neal, but we only ever see him do what he's actually good at once in a blue moon. Yeah, it's a bit of a rough watch at times. Alrighty, so 80 apiece, 9:17 to play. Schroeder may be done because he's got a bit of ice on his knee, and that would usually indicate you're done, but I ain't the medical stuff. I wouldn't have a clue. Claxton picks up his dribble, faked the pass, and then got it up and in over Scottie Barnes. He has been quality when he gets those looks on the interior, and with the Raptors playing small ball, not having a notable big man, I think Claxton's going to get these opportunities, and I think we have to feed him more in the paint. He's got Scottie Barnes on him. Barnes just lost the ball. Dude, I'm pretty sure no one passed that or touched that from a Nets perspective. What's going on here? Like, that just went off Barnes' leg. I'm pretty sold. They got to get it in. They get it to Anunoby in the corner. They got 4 to shoot. Anunoby shooting a step back 2 over CJ and somehow hit it. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. That should have been Nets ball. Instead, we've got someone scoring a contested 2, which against most oppositions, they're not doing. Watford, an excellent backdoor cut, and Royce with the find. That is the court vision we also need to find those passes that probably on the surface aren't too noticeable. This is good defense by Watford on Anunoby. The pass to Barnes, who thought about the 3, because Claxton is giving him that space. Barnes backs him down. Boucher the 3. It's actually a joke that the Raptors have gotten this from Chris Boucher. This guy, I guarantee you, has not played the way he has played today at all this season. Johnson the drive. Pass to the corner, and it is a foul. So, this is frustrating, man. 85-84. Boucher's been really good for them, but, like, come on. Boucher, really? Here's O'Neal. It's in! Oh my god, this is a fucking roller coaster of an experience. Watching O'Neal play, far out. He's got 3 of our 8 3-pointers, so I guess there is a place for him. McDaniels under the basket, back out to Trent. He's got Dinwiddie on him. That's great defense, but yet again, tough shot being made. I sense that whoever hits 100 first has to win this game. Obviously, a bit more of a low-scoring match, this one. Dinwiddie in a switch. He's got Boucher on him. It's a defensive 3-second call. It's going to be a net free throw. And it's going to be Bridges, I believe, taking the shot. So O'Neal just keeps on firing, to be honest. It's actually CJ taking the free throw and he makes it. So Nets with the lead back. Schroeder back in. So what do I know about injuries? 88-87. 7 or so minutes to play. It's been very, very tightly contested for the majority of this second half. Oh my god. O'Neal heat check. He's hit the shot! How the fuck? And he shakes his head as if to say, you can't guard me. Bro, shut up. Shut up, mate. You cannot shoot a 3 ball for your life. Well, you can. You've hit 4 of them, but you do my head in. McDaniels missed the first and then was able to knock it back up and in. So, I mean, that's just like gang rebounding and just being in the right spot to get a vital touch, to get it up and in. Because that was good defense again by the Nets. It's O'Neal again! 3! Yes! Royce! Oh my goodness, he's on a heater. This is the Dinwiddie run of the second half, except O'Neal is responsible. Barnes responds. Oh my god, that's Nets legend Garrett Temple on the Raptors bench. I didn't even know he plays for them. So, Bridges, Johnson, had it knocked away by McDaniels twice. Where is the foul, man? Thank you. So, a foul on McDaniels, and about time there was a foul called, because he was getting harassed a fair bit. Bro, Royce. I love supporting Royce when he actually does something. I love supporting Royce when he does something. He's getting excited because he's like, damn, I've never hit these threes like I am right now in my life. Dinwiddie to the corner. Finney Smith is open. That's off. Rebound by no one, but it's another loose ball foul, and Claxton is going to be the beneficiary. It's Podol with the foul. So, bit of an arm lock there. And Claxton, like, obviously didn't have both arms freed up. That was hindering his ability to get that rebound. And the Nets will recycle for another possession. It was a good look. Claxton goes to the bench. I'm not a fan of this. Sharp is in at the 5:40 mark. Bridges just lost the ball. And that was a good shot if he actually was able to shoot it. Instead, he turns it over, and that's turnover number 14. We've done a decent job of, you know, holding on to the ball in this last quarter, but that is a turnover that really hurts you and hurts the momentum of the team. We've got to get a stop now. Schroeder shoots the midi. Good defense. Dayron, good box out, and he bats it to Bridges. And Dinwiddie will, I suspect, slow things just a little bit. Dinwiddie is going to back down Trent. Shoots the mid-range. He's short on it. Dayron got a vital hand in there. Dinwiddie ends up with the rebound. Skip pass to Finney Smith. Catch and shoot 3 is off. Rebound by Anunoby. And it is O'Neal with the foul, who was a bit overzealous. We've gotten the looks, but no one, ironically, except Royce, can hit a 3-pointer. Because there's been some open ones. And look, I'm not a fan of Finney Smith being in the game. We need CJ in the game to close this one out. Siakam will drive, He's going to back down Finney Smith. It's good defense. It's good defense. Get the rebound. You have 3 there. Blocked by Finney Smith. Huge block. Dinwiddie. O'Neal. 3. It's off. Dude. Trent. Shoots the mid-range over Spencer. It is good. And that has been a smooth-looking jumper for the majority of the game. It's tied at 94. And now this game hangs in the balance. Bridges. Screen set. That has to be a shot. And he got it to go. +1. That didn't really require any strength. I don't know why I was flexing, but smart, nifty move. Mikal felt the contact on the back shoulder and was able to draw that foul. He got the soft bounce off the rim and it went down. So an opportunity for a 3-point play and a big 3-point play. And he got the bounce on that as well. So bit of fortune there. It's a 3-point game with about 4 minutes to play in this contest. And it's been a really, really good one. Schroeder and Anunoby, and that's another O'Neal foul. He's already picked up 5 personals. That is ridiculous. So, I don't even know why we play O'Neal like this. He's actually been good, but like we need CJ in the game. Just as that extra versatile attacking option. Podol looking for a pass. Trent shoots and scores. There's been no answer for him. I'm actually a bit surprised that they have not looked to him more. Because he's been pretty successful. Bridges missed the layup and a rebound for the Raptors. It's Schroeder in transition. Will drive. Got caught in the air, and Anunoby, 1 more for Schroeder, over the top of Bridges, it's short, and a rebound for Finney Smith. The interesting thing is this, there is no Claxton on the floor. I'm so confused. Never mind, the timeout has been called by JV, and I suspect that there are changes being made here at the conclusion of this timeout. You can see the scoreline here for the Nets. Dinwiddie will update that. So this is what we're dealing with. O'Neal has hit 5 threes off the bench, and he's actually accounted for half our 3-point total. So as much as we hate the guy, he's actually been very, very crucial in getting us in a very winnable position. Mikal is shooting it all right, but he has not nearly taken the amount of shots. Nearly taken the right volume of shots in this second half. Only 6 shots. Dinwiddie's taken 8 and hasn't made a field goal in this second half after being on an absolute tear in the back end of the first half. CJ has only played 23 minutes and Clax has only played 29. I think Clax needs to play down the stretch. I mean, they're playing Podol, so you need to play Clax, I think. I think you need to play Clax. That offensive ability he's got, I think, is sort of, well, it's a good little thing, a good little asset to have, especially when the shots probably could dry up at the back end of this game. We're shooting it like trash. The offensive rebounds have really helped. We're outdoing them on the boards by 11. We're absolutely not doing ourselves any favors with the turnovers, but the good thing is we've cut down on those drastically. So the crucial thing is that we end this fourth quarter the way we ended the first half. For the Raptors, 5 plays in double figures. No one scored more than 20, but they have gotten some good scoring from Trent. He is a +5, and in a very close game, that's what you want. You want those fine margins to be going your way, and I think Gary Trent's been pretty key in keeping them alive. So here we go. My blood pressure would appreciate a 12-0 run right now. 100%, my guy. I'm beginning to think that you've got something against Royce O'Neal. Well, I thought I had made it obvious enough. I want the guy to perform, but he makes it awfully difficult, like, to root for him. JV wanted to rain threes, but now he's just got to make sure that we just win. Yeah, now the in-season tournament bullshit goes out the window. We just want to win this game of basketball. We just want to win this game of basketball, man. 1 point game. We've had the ascendancy for basically the majority. The Raptors have never gotten over the hump. So, I mean, the opportunity is there. I don't know. Is there a double timeout going on here? I think both teams have used their timeouts. They probably had a use it or lose it timeout, I think. So it looks like we're going to end the game the way we started in terms of lineup. CJ and Clax with the warm-up jackets off. It looks like those two are going to be closing this one out with 3:27 to play. It's huge. We're going to need players to come up with some big shots here. Boston ended up winning by 27, so they're going to win the group because they've overtaken the Orlando. We don't even look like overtaking Orlando unless we go on an absurd 14-0 run to close this one out, but I can't see that happening. I think right now it's just win, forget that this result even happened, you know, the win aside, the outcome aside, and then move forward, honestly. So the Nets have possession. The ball's got to be inbounded, and it is to Spencer Dinwiddie. It was hard fought, but he got that. And now the high screen by Clax. Dinwiddie into the paint. Bridges corner three. It's good! Yes! All right, 3 minutes. 4-point lead. 2-possession game. That's what we want. And now we don't give away a 3 to cancel out what we just did. Trent, it's good defense by Bridges. Trent will drive. And that is a good pump fake. Oh, please get the rebound. Johnson is there. And it's going to be it's a foul. No, it's a jump ball. So we had 2 players with prime position to get the rebound. They almost knocked it out of each other's hands, and then CJ getting his hands dirty is... Wait, no, it's a foul. And it's a big foul call because we're in the bonus. So by CJ putting his body on the line, he's a good free throw shooter. Like, something as subtle and as important as that has given us an opportunity for 2 free throws out of nothing. CJ makes 1. And so I said that whoever makes 100 first will win the game. We are the first team there, so 2 big possessions there. Offensively and defensively, it's a 6-point game, and the Raptors will need a bucket to ensure this one doesn't get away for them. It's a 6-point game. Schroeder will survey his options. They're trying to free up Trent. They get it to him. The switch. Claxton picks him up on the perimeter. One more switch. Good roll by Barnes. Help by Finney-Smith. And he scores through the contact. So that's a good look for the Raptors. Now Bridges will inbound it to Dinwiddie. And they will well and truly slow this one down. No, they're fouling Claxton. Okay. They're fouling Claxton. It is a Hacker Clax moment here. They've got 24 seconds to do it. And this could be a big, big play by the Raptors. This will show Claxton's improvement at the line. He missed his first 2 of the game. Right all the way back in the first quarter. The first is good. And this is a sign of development if he can make both of these free throws, because instantly you make that strategy null and void. Claxton is 62.5% on the season, so he actually is a bit more decent than I think people would now give him credit for. He's 1 of 3 tonight, but that was his first make, and hopefully he can repeat the dose. He's short, and a rebound for Anunoby. So 1 of 2. They're going to push the pace, and Barnes, the Euro, quality, but he's fouled. So now Barnes at the line. It is a 5-point game. I think we're going to be here for a while, guys. I think we're going to be here for a while. If you are enjoying the stream, make sure to show your support and drop a like on it, and subscribe as well if you're new. We'll be back in a couple of days for Nets Hornets. Barnes at the line. He's got Whammy trying to put him off behind the basket. Why is O'Neal back in? I suspect... Well, yeah, I suspect they're doing this because Claxton is very much prone to, that hacker-clack strategy again. So Barnes makes both. O'Neal is in for Claxton, and they inbound it to Dinwiddie. So now you have to just play straight up. You can't foul no one, because more likely than not, they're going to make the free throws. Dinwiddie will slow things down. Schroeder on the perimeter guarding him. The switch, he's got Siakam on him now. 7 to shoot. O'Neal back to Dinwiddie. He drives. One more. O'Neal, pump fake. Wide open 3. Yes! O'Neal! Yes! Royce! Come on. Come on, lads. Siakam. Drive. He's got Bridges isolated on him. He blew the layup. Put back by Barnes is off. Rebound Bridges. Bro, it feels like deja vu. O'Neal last year at home, playing the Raptors, hit a big clutch 3 in the final 2 minutes. That 3 equally important. Bridges will drive on Siakam. The layup is off. They're still alive. Schroeder, Trent, drive, runner, it's off. Rebound Dinwiddie, strong rebound. And then he nearly lost it out of bounds. He saved it. O'Neal, Bridges, Johnson. Hey! Hey! Excellently worked. I mean, the Raptors threw everything at us on that possession, but ultimately we found the loose, capitalized on the extra number, and we are up 8 and in a very, very commanding position. But O'Neal, bro, I mean, talk about a good substitution. Claxton had to go off. Royce was waving. Royce was waving the crowd. Imagine getting waved off by O'Neal. So, that is just quality work by the Nets. I think JV has done a very good job managing this late game because Claxton could have obviously been fouled. They sent him to the line again. Could have been 2 misses. The Raptors could have tied the game. Instead, you have Royce in the game to prevent that hacker-clacks strategy. And then O'Neal knocks down a big 3. So, 8-point lead. That is the second... Well, actually, right? So, 2 players before today had scored 6 threes off the bench in at least 2 games. Lonnie Walker and Tim Hardaway. You can now add a third player to that list, ladies and gentlemen, because Royce O'Neal in 2 consecutive games off the bench has hit 6 threes. Sorry, no, I think he started the other day. Yeah, he did. So never mind, I can't say that. But 2 consecutive games with 6 threes from Royce, and it didn't look like we were getting there when he was like 2 of 7 or 1 of 6, whatever it was, a bit earlier in the game. Raptors still alive, but needing a basket now. Barnes to Siakam. Back out to Barnes. He shoots a 3, and he misses. Mikal with the rebound, and Barnes was trying to milk a call. Instead, we get it past halfway. Finney-Smith, he's open, and he's off. Interesting call there. 46 to play. Barnes the layup. He missed it again. And a rebound for Johnson. And he's got to get it past halfway. He is fouled. And with 38.6 left, we actually are creeping up to that 14-point total that we needed to overtake Orlando. But, yeah. Well, do we nominate for the wildcard spot if we win this by a certain amount? I don't really know, but we will look at the in-season tournament implications post-game. If you want to stick around for that, it'll be like a nice little 5 to 10 minute block where we just look at the post-game, see what was happening. CJ makes both, and that is regulation for him. So, 10-point game. Siakam will Inbound it to Schroeder. And the important thing is we get another stop because point differential's vital. And another miss. And another rebound. Push the pace. Go, 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 go. Dinwiddie. Finney-Smith. We want a 3. He shoots it. He got it. It's a... Do we actually foul? Do we actually foul? It's a 13-point game, and we needed 1 point to overtake Orlando. Siakam to the corner. Please miss. He missed it. Get a rebound. What are you doing? Trent for 3. It's off. Get a board. Get a board. Get a board. Go. Go. Oh, he fouled. He was fouled. He was fouled. Okay, so we will overtake Orlando. We will overtake Orlando if we make this a 1 of 2. Okay, so Dinwiddie at the line will make the first. So we have now overtaken Orlando, provided the Raptors do not... Provided the Raptors do not score. So Dinwiddie makes both. It's a 15-point game. So we've gotten it past the Magic total, but the Celtics won by 27. Siakam to Schroeder. Corner 3. Anunoby. It's good. Shit. Fuck. That is so pathetic. We just got rubbed out of the in-season tournament because we gave away a 3 on the buzzer. You'll never see anything like it because in previous seasons, this game, you just run out the clock. Of course, the Raptors decided, yeah, let's just end it for them and let's concede the 3. So that's it. Or let's score the 3. Let's rub them out. That's going to do it. It's 115-103. Let's have a look at the chat and let's see what's going on in the chat. If you did enjoy and you're leaving now, make sure to drop a like on it and subscribe as well if you're new. We'll be back in a couple of days. But the implications for that, the 3-pointer that was just scored by Anunoby has meant that we nearly had a chance at a wild card place, but unfortunately that did not work the way we wanted it to. We just gave away a 3-pointer, which sent us back under Orlando. So that is it. Why is Clax going out to negate the fouling? Yep. The hilarious irony of seeing Savas stand up and flex in response to a Royce 3. Mate, you won't see it anywhere else. You won't see it anywhere else where 1 second I'll be absolutely cussing at him because he's turned the ball over. And then I'll be absolutely, I'll be feeling euphoric when he hits a big 3-pointer. So, yeah, we lose when we win. Definitely got to make the Xmas reel. Mate, if there was a highlight reel for every one of the big moments in the season, mate, that'd be entertaining. I wanted to advance, not going to lie. Well, it means we're going to have a big break. Yeah, so if the Celtics didn't decide to win by 27 points today, that 3-pointer would have even more of an implication because we only ended up 7 points down on the differential. If we had if the Celtics won by, let's say, 16 points or something, that 3-pointer would have actually sent us away from a quarterfinal appearance. We would have been in the quarterfinals and then Anunoby hits a 3 and knocks us out of there. So, yeah. But you know what? This was a very good win because down the stretch it was very tight and obviously a nice little 12-point buffer when it's all said and done. That was the most important thing. Getting the dub, getting another win. That's win number 3 in a row. We're now above 500 and we can close out this run of games before the in-season tournament shit happens to, have a really good wave of form. We've got Charlotte and Orlando next. Orlando have been on an absolute tear recently, but they're the last time we played them, we beat them convincingly. So, yeah, I mean, the highlight for me today is that Royce was waving the Raptors home. Like, that is so, you're so down bad if O'Neal is saying goodbye to you because he's just knocked down a three in your face. This is the box score, and you're probably talking about, you're probably asking yourself, why am I so happy about Royce O'Neal? Well, it's because the guy hit 6 threes on 12 attempts, and this guy is the definition of live by the three, die by the three. This guy is enough to make your brain burst, and he can remove your soul all at once. Like, it goes from mistake to, success in the space of 30 seconds. He was great today, actually. We didn't really have to rely on Finney Smith, and Cam Johnson could sort of ease himself back in with all that cramping he's been experiencing recently, because Royce, 18 points, very good off the bench. I mean, he was a positive by a long way. The 7 rebounds, the 4 assists, the 2 blocks, and the steal earlier in the game were important. Spencer Dinwiddie, I mean, the stats would suggest that he had a subpar game in some respects, because he did. In the first half, he was very key in giving us a late burst, that gave us a good lead going into the second half, and that's probably why we had the lead at 3/4 time. On the back of that burst that gave us a cushion going into the third quarter. Even when we did make mistakes in the third quarter, there was enough of a cushion to keep us ahead and ensure that we could, keep him at an arm's length for the entirety of the last quarter. And he was very good on the glass as well. The 9 rebounds indicate that he was very strong. Assist-wise, he was good at controlling the pace of the game. He had 1 turnover, so for the usage he has, that is a very good number to look at. And the 4 steals as well. That was also pretty key, especially when the turnovers were few and far between. We couldn't force them in the second half, but in the first half, they were incredibly vital extra possessions that we were getting. Cam Johnson, even though in limited minutes, he was very good as well with the 9 rebounds, a couple vital rebounds in there down the stretch as well, 18 points. Obviously got a decent bucket there in the last minute or so. And Mikal Bridges didn't really have to assume responsibility. He had 22 and 10 and 5 assists. The 5 turnovers, so he's got to do a bit of a better job looking after the basketball. But, as far as efficiency goes, he was very good. Clax was awesome. I mean, a team high plus 21 in 32 minutes. I think that really indicates the importance of him. 4 blocks, 8 rebounds, his defensive presence as the anchor. That ensured that those late quarter shots the Raptors were taking on the interior, they weren't going down with him in the game. And obviously earlier in the game where the Raptors needed to, find their way back into it. So yeah, that was good. The free throws, I mean, we only had 3 or 4 free throws at halftime. The fact we ended with 26 is an excellent sign, and I think Spencer Dinwiddie led the charge in that respect. 10 of 10 from the line. It's a good thing to get to the line, but Spencer sometimes is a little bit iffy from there. He made all of them, and especially when the Raptors couldn't buy a free throw either. That's a really good thing to take away. He nearly made the same amount of free throws as the Raptors' whole team. And yeah, Royce O'Neal, quality game. Lonnie Walker didn't have to do too much, but I think another well-rounded team performance. Defensively, very, very switched on. 13 offensive rebounds. We ended up out-rebounding them by 13, which is awesome. Threes, we made the same amount, so we ended up, after having a really shit third quarter, we ended up knocking down a ton of important threes, 3 or 4 important threes on a good efficiency. So that was very, very important. That just goes to show it's not always about volume, it's about the quality of shot, and we had some really good open looks. The Raptors ended up having 12 more shots and still made less than we did. They made the same amount of threes, and then obviously the free throws were big. They only had 19, even though in that third quarter they took about 10 or 11 of them. So outside of that quarter, very good. Still gave away a bunch of offensive rebounds, but I mean, those free throws that they didn't make really made, they were made to pay for those that they missed. Like Achua 1 of 4, Siakam 5 of 7, Barnes 4 of 5. They all add up. Turnovers they were pretty responsible with. We did a lot of turning the ball over, especially in that third quarter, but we did well to, not turn the ball over when it mattered. And it was a very good defensive performance on the likes of Siakam, Scottie Barnes. Schroeder didn't do too much. Gary Trent probably didn't take enough shots, nor play enough minutes. And Boucher was pretty good off the bench. It was almost as if their bench players were better than their starters. And I mean, that negative 23 in the plus minus by Scottie Barnes probably indicates that. So that's a good win. A very good win. Obviously, you take those. Let's have a look. Can you please do the Bucks in Miami? Well, we'll just show you actually the situation here that we've got with regards to the in-season tournament. First and foremost, this game is very important. If we were in a wild card position, this game would be very, very important. The Bucks and the Heat, because I believe the Heat were in a good wild card spot place before today. Dame's got 31 and Giannis has 31 as well. And then for the Heat, they're playing short-handed and they've still got really good performances in there. Really good. They're playing an 8-man rotation and they're running it with the Bucks, who have made a bit of a run in the second half. Who else? Charlotte Knicks, that is an absolute blowout. And we play Charlotte in a couple of days if you want to tune in for that. We will be doing a watch along for that. Randall, 20 rebounds. That's pretty nuts. And then this is the game that ultimately burnt us. Boston outscoring the Bulls by 27. I mean, look at that Bulls box score. It's disgusting. I mean, Zach LaVine 2 points, and some people want us to trade for this guy. Come on now. You can't be serious. I mean, look at that performance by the Boston players, apart from Sam Hauser, who was absolutely jacking up the threes. Everyone was really good for them. So, yeah, the Bulls are in a very big spot of bother at 5 and 14. The Minnesota Timberwolves are beating the Thunder, who have 28 from Shea already. And Anthony Edwards has been pretty good for them. And then Houston have had a really good season so far, but they haven't won a game away, and that's where they're playing right now. Şengün has got 16, and Luka has got 18. So some good games there, and then Atlanta got blown out by Cleveland as well. They did have Trae Young and DeJounte Murray, so interesting stuff there. Donovan Mitchell at 40. I actually would like to see him on our team, but I don't really know who you would give up and how the fit would work. So yeah, I mean, pretty good games all around the league, but this is ultimately the one that matters, the one that we won, and we got plenty of good offensive scoring from our players. With yet again 5 players score between 15 and 25 points. That is key. A number of key players who are providing some good offensive contributions reliably. Dinwiddie, even though he was inefficient, he was getting to the free throw line an absolute crap ton. And yeah, I think that box score really indicates this roster's depth and ability. Raptors should just rebuild. Yeah, I mean, they're just in a really weird spot. Give credit to Royce, he saved our stagnant offense at the beginning of the last. Well, I would still say it was stagnant. It just, like, the shots were falling for him. So those shots are always on offer for Royce. It's just a matter of making them. And sometimes he doesn't, sometimes he does. Cam Thomas' return will take some pressure off Mikal, and Spence can concentrate more on distributing the ball. And it'll mean that the rotation looks a lot different. Spencer may be coming off the bench with this team fully fit. I think he'll be starting, though, with your boy Cam Thomas returning. I think he will. We'll just be playing much smaller. It depends if Finney Smith goes to the bench. I'm not really 100% sure. Finney Smith, nice defensive game. Yeah. Continue to push. Also against the Hornets, we could be top 5 spots. Tonight we've suffered physically, but we've played a good game. I mean, yeah, it was a pretty hard fought game. But we found a way. Good teams find a way. Now the Bulls are a team without sense because all their stars know that they were traded. We'll see next against Charlotte for another W. For sure, we will. Kings versus Warriors on TNT. Yeah, that's going to be a good game. Probably a fired up game, I would imagine. Talk about the Orlando Magic. I mean, I'm not an Orlando supporter, but I can say this unanimously. Let me just go to the Orlando Magic page. I'm pretty sure, well, they have not lost since we played them all the way back on November the 15th. It's been 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks since since a team lost, or since a team beat Orlando. We were the team. So if that's an indication of anything, I think it's that we stack up well against them. It also probably says that the Magic, they're going to test us because they did for a large portion of that game, and then we switched it on. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to be heavily tested, but I think we'll be just fine. We'll be just fine. So I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for tuning in, folks. We will be back for the next game, which will be Nets Charlotte. Then it'll be next Nets Orlando. Next and Nets are so similar as words. Thanks, Captain Obvious. So we'll be doing Nets Charlotte, then Nets Magic, and then we'll have this in-season tournament period, which will cause a bit of a hiatus for our season because we won't be involved in it. But that being said, it's a good time to refresh for the group. And then we'll return for a West Coast 5 or 6 game trip. So that's going to be really tough. But I think the break couldn't come at any better of a time. So we're refreshed for that period. So that's going to be incredibly key. I think we may see the benefits of that in our play, but obviously we won't know until it all transpires. But I mean, there's probably only good things on the way for this team. We've missed a number of games from our starters. Like, our starters have missed a lot of games due to injury, upwards of 30. And we're only 17 or so games into the season. So the fact that we are 9-8, we are above 500. We've got Cam Thomas returning soon. And, it's a very tight middle portion of the Eastern Conference. So, it's going to be very telling to see how this team goes when they're fully fit. But, I think signs point upward because of, until this point, we've had the second hardest schedule. Second hardest schedule to this point of the season. So I think that's also another big thing to take away. There's been a lot of tough games in there. There's been a lot of games we've been competitive in. There's been a lot of games where we've, prevailed. So, yeah, I think this team holds a lot of resilience, there's a lot of depth. So, that next man up mentality is well and truly apparent. And look, I think the only way is up. As the song goes, the only way is up. So, yeah, that's going to do it. If you have any final thoughts, let me know in the chat, because obviously that's important. But if you don't have anything, I'll give you probably a minute or so to put something in the chat if you want to say something. But that aside, that should probably do it. We will be back in a couple of days. So that is the deal. We are 9-8. We are out of the in-season tournament, but a win is a win nonetheless. In this case, a win is a loss, but a win is also a win. So, yeah. I'm probably just going to end it there since it doesn't look like anyone has anything else to say. But thank you for tuning in. As always, that is appreciated. We will be back, as I've said, in 48 hours. But until then, make sure to stay safe. Be good. And, we'll see you in 48 hours for Nets Charlotte. Hopefully a win. See ya. Have a good one.